Aquarius. Wow, one that was Dionne Warwick. You all guys all know Dionne Warwick and some of the work that she's done over the years. One of the things I'm all about history, about going back. Dionne did a soul album back in '68. And if you look real hard, you can find that album that was not a Bacharach David album. And she did Aretha songs. She did some other soul songs. I thought it was one of her best albums. Nobody bought it, but that's me. But on and on and on. I have the distinct pleasure of sitting right now with Jessica Williams. And I can tell you a little while ago, the whole group of vocalists were in here and doing a testimony song and an uplifting song for those survivors of the hurricane and Irma and all the other kinds of things going on. And the intensity in this room was just totally electric. You could just touch everybody in this room and get a spark. And she was a part of that as well, and probably one of those people who helped create sparks. So now I get to spend a few minutes with Jessica Williams. We've talked a little bit. I'm not going to talk about her husband, who I absolutely love, who's one of my favorite people in the world, because this is Jessica's moment. But again, like a lot of other things, and the folks we've been talking to today, she's got this incredible history. And as you've heard me say more than once, I'm all about this history. There's one thing we can say when you meet somebody, that there's something that happened long before that first moment. If you spend just a little time checking, you can find out. She's been singing since she's the disco queen, or a disco queen. She's had a few albums. She's done a lot of work on television with General Hospital and All My Children. And there's a whole long list of albums here that she's done and worked on. Her own albums and music she's done with other people. They're all right here. Her television performances, her vocals with Al Green and Peebo Bryson and Aaron Neville and the Mighty Clouds of Joy.
Yeah,
and
that was awesome.
That is, wow, that is some stellar company to be with. So please welcome Jessica Williams to today's show. Jessica,
thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Thank you as well. Tell us a little bit about your career.
Well, I started out like we all do, gospel. My whole family was gospel, and one of the Mighty Clouds of Joy was my brother. Jimmy Jones was one of the lead singers in the Clouds of Joy. And then I moved, of course, on to R&B, which I was signed at Motown in '73 as a little girl. Then I moved on from Motown, started doing sessions, and even with the Jackson 5 on Thelma Houston's albums and on Smokey Robinson's album, did some demos and things for the Supremes. So I've been on a lot of people's albums. And then I moved on and started doing, solo career on Polydor Records, which that started my solo career. My first album was called Queen of Fools with Jessica Williams. Mm-hmm. And so I was in 4 groups on that label. So they said, well, you're going to have to stop singing with everybody. So you just start singing with your own self, doing your own solo album. And then that's what I'm still doing. I'm getting ready to record a new single, independent label. So look out for that one. So
we're going to be looking for it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank
you. And I'm doing some stuff with John B. Williams. He's got a concert coming up at LACMA in October.
Oh,
the
good.
20th of October. So you come out and see us.
Oh, I'll definitely be there. Mitch Glickman is a great friend of mine, too. So he supports Central Avenue, and I support LACMA.
Yes, yeah. So we're going to do some things like that and other jobs that I got going lined up that's, in New York. And I go to Mexico City a lot, and that's one of the places that got really hit by the earthquake and stuff so that's really sad for me because I have a lot of fans and family members. I call them my family because I'm down there 4 times a year. So I'm doing stuff like that and raising children, grandchildren. So my career is full. I have a full plate.
It is a full plate. And, you know, you have had to put so much into it yourself.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is there are a lot of people observing and say, she has a great voice and everybody wanted her to sing, but that enthusiasm and that talent wasn't really enough, was it? You had to do some work.
Yeah.
Talk about what it took to build your career.
Well, it took a lot of willpower and a lot. Don't give up. Just keep going. Don't take no for an answer. You know, when I started singing as a young child, from the 3rd grade up, you know, I never really thought that I would become a recording artist. I was just singing because I could sing, you know, and my family could sing. So with that, I just started doing and made a phone call. Me and my girlfriend one night calling by mistake, and ended up calling Motown, and that was Hal Davis, and he had us to come up and audition, and we auditioned and had us at Motown, Mo West. Remember Mo West?
Sure.
And Suzanne DePass signed us on the label and stuff. So I never stopped singing. The other girl left and became a police officer, and I just kept doing background sessions for Motown and moved on and started doing, you know, my own stuff. I just never stopped doing anything, but I never imagined that I would have my own solo career. I wasn't looking for one. They all just, God just gave them to me. And I appreciate it. I never just took it for granted. I worked hard at my craft, and I helped others too along the way. Not just me. I was pulling other people with me. A lot of people say you can't take them with you, but you can if they got talent. You know, you kick the door open for somebody else to come through. So with that, and God's help, here I am. I never stopped. You know, even raising kids, I never stopped. From my children to grandkids, I raised them too. So just being Jessica Williams is not enough. You just got to still just reach out and do other things because sometimes singing is not the only talent that you have. And children is mine.
Great. That's wonderful. And are any of them going to be singers, you think?
Well, I hope so.
Okay.
Somebody need to sing.
Well, good. Jessica, thank you for spending time with us
Well, you're
today.
very welcome.
This is actually, it's a real honor for me, and I want
Thank
you to
you
know
very
that.
much for having me.
You've been associated with some of my favorite people.
Wow.
From my personal favorite people, not just as a fan,
Oh, who are some of
the
those?
people that I know. well, John B. Williams and a couple of the other folks
want you to
here,
say his name
Aaron
again.
Neville. You wanted me to say his name again?
Aaron Neville's,
And Aaron Neville and those folks as well the staple singers. And I was mentioning I saw Mavis just a couple of nights ago.
All of those was on the Arsenio Hall show. So
absolutely.
I was the contractor for that show.
There you go. Well, thank you so much for spending the day, spending this time with us, and for lending your voice to this extraordinary effort.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. If you're sitting out there, give a round of applause to Jessica B. Williams and Jessica Williams.
Jessica B is good, too.
Jessica B is good, and we'll pretend we can hear you. Thanks a lot. Talk to you.
Thank you.
I'm now joined in the studio with Miss Edna Wright and their beautiful daughter, Melodye. Hello, girls.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good.
Good.
I've got to first say congratulations, Edna.
Thank you.
On the HAL Awards.
Yes, HAL Awards, yes.
Oh, go on. We'll quickly talk about that now. Tell me about the HAL Awards.
Sure.
What's happening?
Let's see. Heroes and Legends. It was formed by Janie Bradford at Motown, and she started it 28 years ago, and where she invites or has different artists that have made a mark in the industry, and she wants to celebrate them. Yeah. And by doing that, she has this big function that's usually 3 days. It started yesterday and tonight and tomorrow, and it should be nice.
And you are being honored, is that correct?
Yes, I am. I am being honored with along with who? Let's see, Bill Withers. Chris Tucker. Is it Chris Tucker? Chris Tucker and Evelyn Champagne King. And it should be delightful, really.
So the actual, how you came about this was the honeycombs. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, the question is, the name the honeycombs, I've done a bit of research. Where did that name come from?
Eddie Holland.
And
an ice cream cone.
That's the one.
It was a favorite name of a ice cream cone that he used to have, and it was called Honey Cone, and that's what he used to order. And when he saw us, he said, "That's just the way you guys look, like sweet young girls."
So, what are you doing yourself now? Are you still making music? Are you still doing PAs?
Yes, I am. I still work as the Honeycomb, just put my name at the top of it because I'm the only one that's the original in the group at this point. And Edna Wright and the Honeycombs, and we work all over New York. I went to England. I'm sorry I didn't see you in 2014.
You were probably in London. I'm in a very.
London.
I'm at the top end. I'm near Scotland.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Scotland.
Somewhere near, it's called Newcastle, but it's just like a stone's throw from
Newcastle,
Scotland.
that's right. It's still Scotland.
Yeah,
that's
right.
People in the UK, anybody north of Manchester is Scottish for some reason. I don't know why.
That's
but
hilarious.
It is. That's funny. That is. So we were there, but I still travel a lot. And lately, I haven't traveled as much. I've had kind of a break, and that's because my daughter and my son and husband and her husband, my daughter's husband, are doing new music and taking me in the studio.
Right. So, to you, Melodye,
Yes.
what exactly are you doing now?
Let's see. Well, I've been singing since I was 8, actually, and right now I'm working on my project. I put a single out, which was on Love and Hip Hop, called "Tell Me the Wait Is Over." That went really well. We got a lot of hits, and I've always been working with other artists, writing for different artists, different movies. I did Tyler Perry's For Colored Girls. Oh my goodness, I've done 3 Tyler Perry movies overseas, and I did Broadway. I played Aida on Broadway, so I'm trying to backtrack and just do my own music.
So, are you going to be doing any live PAs in LA or anywhere near in the future?
Excuse me, working on doing a new a show in October, which we'll see, but nothing yet. Just still recording. Got 2 more songs to finish recording.
And how about you, Edna? Apart from the how, are you doing anything in the near
I
future?
have nothing today. Never know what's going to happen after Monday.
Oh, I'm still. I forgot. I'm sorry. I'm still touring with the Blues Brothers, so we have a show.
That's right.
See?
Yeah,
See?
I've been touring with the Blues Brothers, so I sing for them, and we have a show in October.
That's
It's
right.
gorgeous. I'm in
Oh, my
Minneapolis.
goodness. That's
yeah,
great.
I'm in Minneapolis.
I think I'm going with you.
That'll be good.
Yeah,
That'll be fun.
just get away. You know? Yeah.
So, Minneapolis on October with the Blues Brothers.
Yeah, October 28th.
20th, and you're just
I'm just hanging
You're
loose.
just hanging loose.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the call. And they come up, I'll get different jobs from different DJs, or they'll call me and we'll package something together, especially if it's in New York. They like to put 2 or 3 jobs together. Like we went to Philly, wasn't it, Mel? And we went Philly, and then we ended up in New York at the Birdland Club, where everybody goes to.
Right.
Yeah.
But she's done. You did not the House of Blues. You did BB King's with
Oh,
Auntie
right,
Dolphin.
I
She
did.
opened at BB King's.
So much.
I forgot I did
Yeah.
BB King's. I forget the things that I do. I work with my sister, and often she'll get a call. We did a TV show. My sister, myself, and Melodye. Just, what was the name of it?
Oh, we did Home and Family,
Home
actually.
and Family, yeah. It was really nice. It aired, and then Melodye did a show with Darlene, and she did it here at some college, and I wasn't a part of it. I was just brought people, had fun.
So, Melodye would have been inspired by you to start music.
I'm sure.
Absolutely.
So, who inspired you?
My sister,
Your sister,
without a doubt.
darling.
Yeah, she was like the knee in my back.
Darlene Love. Yes.
She was the knee in my back. She's the wind under my wings. The Melodye is, but Darlene is the knee in my back because she'll call me and say, "You need to do so and so," and da 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 da, and she's always done that because she's the oldest. And you need to come here, and I'll go like, okay, okay, I'll come. And she'll start doing things and taking me all over New York and seeing things. And we were at Bette Midler's opening
For Hello Dolly.
for Hello Dolly, and
Wow.
that was the hottest ticket in New York. And we were with what's her name now? Jennifer
Jennifer Lewis.
Jennifer Lewis.
Jennifer
We
Lewis.
were there, and we
Jennifer.
had a ball. So when I go with Darlene, a lot of times I get inspired. And then she'll always put me together with one of her guys. Edna needs to do so and so, and then I'll start doing something else.
So, why have you ever thought of doing Darlene, Edna, and Melodye?
It's come up a few times.
yeah.
It's come up a few times. I think it just depends on
Timing.
Scheduling.
time
Yeah.
And
scheduling.
scheduling, yeah.
Time and
But I
scheduling.
think that would be good.
That would be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
You know what? I think that would be fun.
Family show is kind of crazy. Also, my brother has
Oh my God.
is a singer. He's got a really great band called Blackwater, and they just put an EP out. So overseas, actually.
Yeah, he's good.
Well, what you need to do is get me those tracks.
Yes.
And
Okay.
I will blast them out.
Absolutely.
On the radio
All
station,
right.
because I'm all up for that. Yeah, it'd be good.
Oh, that's great.
Right. I know we're running short of
Short
time
time?
here.
Okay.
So I've got another 2 interviews to do yet. So Edna, Melodye, many thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Before you go, I'm going to go play a honeycomb track, haven't I?
Okay.
Please do.
Sounds good.
Which one do you think I'm going to play?
Want ads?
You know it.
Is that your favorite?
Right. We actually run over time here, but we're still going it. We're doing the business. And now, in the studio with me, we do have Issy Martin Jr.
Yes.
Hello, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Right. You've had quite a wide, varied career, haven't you?
Yes, I've been from A to Z.
Is it true you started in the music business at 9-year-old?
Yes, actually I did. I was actually performing at 9. It was all different type of genre then because, where I came from, we didn't have what we call now soul music,
No. Yeah. So you've got to tell me, how about Undisputed Truth?
Undisputed Truth. I love it. That came about by a friend of mine who was a drummer who called me up one evening and said, "Hey, Izzy, Mr. Norman Whitfield, who was, everybody knows, the writer-producer, great guy from Motown, love Norman, was putting the Truth together again because it had kind of fallen apart and he was adding some new things. So went up to Hollywood the next day, and within a week, I was part of the new Undisputed Truth, 1975, I think
75.
it was. Yeah.
75. So how did you start into the music business? Did you get a break from a production company or did you do a talent show?
No, actually, I didn't do a talent show. I was, when I was 14 years old, I had my own band.
All
We
right.
were actually called the Soul Sounds at the time.
Right.
Back in the Midwest, and we were doing a lot of gigs for 14 years old. I was playing every weekend in clubs that I shouldn't be in, but my dad was chaperoning the group, so I was the youngest, but it was my band, and we were playing just very popular group in what they call the four-state area at the time.
Yeah.
Which was Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma. Anyway, I was heard by a larger group, which was a famous rock horn group back then called the Rising Suns.
Right.
And I auditioned, became a member, and it was pretty much, always been there. I never really had to audition for anything. It just came across, and we ended up, of course, being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fames back there in Iowa and Kansas and Minnesota, on and on. We were very popular throughout the eastern, northern Canada, all those areas, and that brought me down to California.
So now, this moment in time, all right, I know that you had something to do with Charlotte Crosby's new track. Yeah, it's because I'm going to be playing that later on because I'm going to be talking to Charlotte about it. Yeah. What else are you doing at this moment in time?
Well, I'm just about finished with my new CD. I've been working on it actually for 2 years. I've been writing, and I've written over like 20 songs, even though the CD will only have maybe 10 to 11 songs on it. The CD is called Portfolio.
Right.
And should be released pretty soon before Christmas because we have a Christmas song coming out too.
Oh, man, that's going to be good. So you're going to have to get a copy of that to me.
Yes, I will. I think it's very good. We performed it last year at a Christmas show and got overwhelming response, and we decided it's time to go in and cut it.
It's going to be brilliant. We've got so many people to get into the studio before we get closed down. I've got one more quick question. When you were doing the track with Charlotte Crosby, have you got any inside info of any silly things that happened? Or
Oh, well, that's just well, there's some things I don't really want to say, because, I'm a married man now. been married for like 37 years. So, I got to kind of, I've got to be a role model for my daughters. But no, we had some, it was some great things. And like I said, it was just enjoyable being in all those, the company.
Under the pin sign.
Yes.
Right. Well, I know it's been short.
Yeah.
We're going to have to organise a proper interview with you because
That would be
we've got
absolutely
so
great.
many people coming in. Before you go, I'm going to play one of the tracks from The Undisputed Truth.
I'm Ms. Valentine on Valentine World. Tune into this next segment with Behind the Groove. Super Jam, how are you doing today?
Awesome. I'm so happy to be here tonight with you. Thank you, Vivian.
Yes, it's been such a pleasure to have you in my presence. And where does your name Super Jam come from?
I got that name in New York City. One of my bosses at the time named me like that because I used to just be super good in my work. So he started calling me Super Jam, Super Jam. So I was like, I was looking for a nickname for my band, my show. So then from that spot, went to another spot and somebody called me Super Jam. So I was like, oh, this is gonna be my name. And
That's right, though.
I just leave it like that.
So is Jem your real name too? So Jem and then Super Jam, though, right? Okay. Tell me about your journey from New York City to LA.
Well, I got to New York when I was 20 years old, and I lived there for 13 years. And I just started learning English and like studying acting and music. And the most important thing was like learn the language and communicate with everybody. So I focused very specific in that and like really the communication. And then so it was like 13 years of working and studying. And then I was like, okay, I'm out with New York. I love New York. And I had a great time there. It was beautiful, and I'm so blessed and so grateful about that. But I came here to make my show come true. I want to have my own show. I'm writing a comedy show, and it has a little music, and it has like different acts and different things that I'm trying to make happen. So I came 11 days ago to California, and now I'm with you here, doing my first baby steps.